Hi, this is Patricia Braase with the Spring Group, and I'm going to be talking about an activity that you can do with your students that will aid in them learning. Main thing, we're trying to decide what type of learner your child is or your student is. Every student they learn differently. While some students' strengths are reading and writing, others learn more effectively through hands-on activities. Understanding how your student learns best is a large part of helping your student perform to his or her fullest potential. And that starts with finding out what type of learner your student is. There are 4 main learning styles: visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. Many students use a combination of each, but usually have one style that works best for them. Using the right study method makes all the difference when it comes to your students understanding and remembering the material. By knowing your students' learning style, you can choose effective study methods that complement strengths rather than work against them. Remember, there isn't always one right answer. Your student may fall into more than one learning style category. The best way to find out how your student learns is to try different methods and see which works more effectively. Also, you could have them to take a short quiz at the beginning of the year to aid in deciding what works best for each student. Find out what type of learner your student is by having them answer the following questions. Make note of categories which they commonly answer yes. These are the ones that represent the type of learning style that your student favors. The first type of style is the visual learner. The student excels at visual arts, activities such as art. They enjoy books that include illustrations such as pictures, graphs, maps. They're good at recognizing and recalling people, words, and places. They're very interested in the world and the objects around them. They do best when provided with an example or activity that they're working on, okay? They use a way to help them study is to use different colors to create study notes. Make study flashcards to use for review. Create maps, charts, and diagrams when studying. Another type of student learner is the auditory learner. The student excels at auditory learning activities such as music or songs, and I've talked about that before. They frequently sing or hum or talk when playing or doing schoolwork, sometimes in the classroom. They do well when following verbal instructions. They enjoy talking and having conversations with others. That's why group work is an especially good example for this type of student. They listen to all the instructions before starting on a task, and they ask lots of questions when working on tasks or activities. And some study tips for the auditory learner: recite the study notes out loud, make up rhymes, songs, or stories when studying, talk through areas with your student if they're studying with different areas. Another type of student learner is a reading-writing learner. Now, I don't know why they group these two together, because I'm good at reading, I'm not really good at writing, but of course there's variations. The student often writes things down or takes notes when working on a task. They enjoy reading books, and some of them enjoy writing stories. They're good at remembering what they've read. They work best alone in a quiet space. They do best when writing down instructions to follow a task. Some study tips would be: write the study notes out by hand, create checklists to a study guide, organize study notes by using headings and lists. Okay. Another one is the kinesthetic learner. The student excels at physical activities such as sports. They have a hard time sitting still while learning. They enjoy hands-on activities. They enjoy learning activities like drawing or study games. They prefer to jump straight into a task and get started. Some study tips would be: create practice tests to use while studying. Turn studying time into a fun activity or game. So these are just some possibilities. I have an illustration of a person that I know about that I want to share with you. This guy, when he was in 5th grade, he was flunking. He was making straight F's. The other kids had a good time making fun of him and giving him a hard time. Finally, his mother told him, "Ben, you're better than that. You can do better. What helps you learn the best?" He said, "I don't get anything out of the class lessons by just listening to the lectures." His mom said, "What helps you the most?" He said, "I like to read." She said, "Fine. Then skip the classes and just read and study your material from the book. Now, I'm not advocating skipping classes or having students do that, but this is just what happened with him. But he started staying home and studying hard. His mother also limited his time watching television and required him and his brother to read and write book reports on 2 library books per week. He went from straight F's to straight A's and graduated at the top third of his class. He went on to become a world-famous brain surgeon and eventually was the first to be successful in separating conjoined twins that were joined by birth at the back of the head. It had never been done successfully before because the babies would bleed out and they would die. He did many more of these surgeries over the years. His name is Dr. Ben Carson. He is now a retired neurosurgeon and politician. He served as the 17th United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development in 2017 to 2021. The point of the story is that you never know what influence you as a teacher will have on your students. Helping them learn and motivating them to achieve is a challenge sometimes, but it is worth it. Thank you. Have a good day.